If you enter Death Valley from the west, you'll go through Rainbow Canyon. It's also called Star Wars Canyon, and this is the area where they used to do training flights for fighter jets through here. Unfortunately, in 2019, Lieutenant Commander Walker died in an accident, and they stopped flying through this canyon. I was surprised by the beauty and the scenery that you can see in Death Valley National Park. I had mistakenly thought it was just going to be some dry sand bed, like 150 degrees, like an oven. But it turned out to be just a beautiful variety of things to see. The road coming into and through Death Valley has some large elevation changes, so this is something I would avoid if you had a large vehicle. But we did see a lot of rental RVs on the road in there, but I'm sure there's a lot of people burning up brakes coming down these hills. But they're just gorgeous, and I, I think Death Valley is probably one of the more underrated national parks for just a beautiful day drive. Now, this is one of the few national parks where I would say there's a very specific time of year that you should visit and otherwise you should avoid. We came right at the end of April, beginning of May timeframe, and it was getting up into the 90s, and at one point we saw 100 degrees. So it's something that if you came later in the summer, I it would be very dangerous. I think the beauty of Death Valley is that it's otherworldly, like it's unique. There aren't too many places that look like this, and you go from a sandy beach area to just beautiful painted colored mountains, and just the strangest, funkiest kind of designs in the sand based on the weather and the wind and the things that are happening in the park. After the beach sand area, we stopped at a place where they used to mine and process borax. It was a very cool kind of stop, and we walked our dog around the track there and just got to see the cool equipment that they had there. This is a definite must for stopping, even if just for the beautiful views. After the borax area, there's the Furnace Creek Visitor Center where it said it was 99 degrees. We walked around inside and also took a tour of the campground. Can't imagine this is just day use only. Okay, it looks like $44 or $29 a night. Doesn't seem to be anybody here though. Maybe because it's 95 degrees out. It looks like they have, they look like 50 amp electrical hookups. Let's check it out. Sites all along here at 50 amp. The sites over here are all boondocking. No hookups. Only they have 50 amp. They have a water hookup too. You have some tent sites over here. I'm surprised there's nobody here. It's a pretty campground. It must be closed right now for some reason. Sure, kids would love to come and play in this area. And it's right next to, it looks like the Artist Drive. We're gonna have to head over there. See, over here there's RVs. I don't know if they're just parked or if they're in a campground. I'll check it out really quick. Another part of the campground that looks like it's open, but this section is closed off. If I was gonna RV camp down here, the 50 amp with water hookup would be perfect. This communal fire pit area is really cool looking. You're right next to the visitor center. Beautiful mountain view behind you. They have flush toilets, no showers though. I think the campground's only used during the winter because of the weather. Our next stop after the visitor center was the Devil's Golf Course, which has an incredible view of structures that are on the ground that are unique. Now, I think this area is 150 to 200 feet below sea level, so maybe this at one point was a seabed. Sign says these structures are crystallized salt that were from an ancient salt lake that was here, and that they continue to grow because whenever it rains, salt comes down into the valley. And after the Devil's Golf Course is the Salt Flats, which also has a cool structure in the salt. And you can see it on the sign, but I didn't go out far enough to see it. And this area is about 200 feet below sea level, and you can see it from the sign up on the hill. Now, headed back to the visitor center from the Salt Flats is the Artist Drive, which is a one-way drive. It's only from the south side going up to the north. And it's very narrow in points, so definitely don't bring any large vehicles through here. Now, along the Artist Drive, there's the Artist Palette area, and what we hear is sunrise, sunset views here are spectacular. During the day, it's still very pretty. Unfortunately, I didn't get a video of the area on Artist Drive that is almost like a slot canyon as you're leaving. It's a very cool area, but difficult to drive a larger vehicle through. And I would say, all in all, Death Valley exceeded my expectations. It's a beautiful national park.